and welcome back to the fastest growing podcast in Detroit. And we have just claimed that name, and we're rolling with it. And I'm Conor Ahearn, your host, and we got my co-host Christian Scarley. And yet again, we got a great guest. So, Loren, how about you introduce yourself?
I'm Loren Golden, work at Rivian. Graduated CCS 2016.
Awesome.
With you,
Yep.
I believe, right? You graduated in 16?
Yeah, I think we actually walked together.
Yeah.
So, you're at Rivian now.
Yes.
What are you doing there?
I'm a surface designer. So
Okay.
Mostly 3D modeling.
Okay, so for the layman or, someone who's not...
Non-automotive design industry people.
Yeah, exactly. What's that consist of?
That consists of me essentially building 3D models in CAD software, which we use Alias.
Yeah.
Somebody will work with designers, we'll work with engineers. We're kind of the middleman. And a designer will come up with a drawing, a sketch, essentially, and hand that off to us. And we'll take a model that we either already have started or we'll start from scratch and we'll build a 3D representation of whatever image that designer handed us, whether it's a seat, a steering wheel, the body side of a vehicle, everything.
Yeah.
Everything that you touch or see on a car.
Yeah,
that's
you
not
are incorporating
like
into the 3D design, whether it's like a component that's like a seatbelt that's a standard component.
Right. I mean, we'll model stuff like that sometimes just to, mock up an interior so we can get like a visual representation of what that is.
In that case, do you end up like modeling it yourself based on what you already have, or do you just scan in a standard OEM seatbelt harness?
It depends.
Okay.
If it's like some crazy, if it's like a sketch model for some concept thing and we're, let's say it's, a 5-point harness or something, people aren't probably going to have a scan for that.
Yeah.
So then we'll build something.
That makes sense.
And
yeah.
Yeah.
So before Rivian, what were you up to, if you don't mind me asking?
Before Rivian, I was at Ford for a year and a half.
Awesome. Doing surface modeling there
Yeah,
as well?
doing surfacing as well. And before that, I was working at a little job shop kind of while I was going to school, learning surfacing.
Yeah.
So that's when I really found my knack for 3D modeling versus design.
Yeah, because you just fell in love for
I'm stronger at making something come to life than I am at coming up with the idea.
Fair enough.
But
yeah, I mean, like you and I went to school, the same school. It happens where you kind of end up finding your niche or your groove.
Exactly.
And like, for instance, I'm pretty darn good at like physical modeling. I make a lot of like foam core models for my projects, and then I'm pretty good at actually like manufacturing it to a small scale, like welding it or sewing up a product or whatever. So I take the more hands-on approach. Yep.
100%.
But yeah, I mean, CAD is very approachable for someone that's interested.
Exactly.
I mean, so you're using Alias.
Yep.
Okay. But
and the super cool thing I like about being at Rivian is we're such a small design team, and we're all good friends. We all trust each other. If I get a sketch from a designer and I start building it and it's not going so well,
you can kind of get that input across.
I can get that input right across, but I'll build their version and then I'll come up with my own workout for what I think they want to happen, and then I'll toss that back, and kind of they trust me to, like, if something's not completely resolved, to just
how big is the design team right now? Roughly.
Think we're about 30 people.
Oh, so that's very like.
That's usually
everyone.
what you have, for, a program.
Yeah, exactly. One team
at one company.
Exactly.
So, Ford and GM and Chrysler, their design staffs are, hundreds of people.
Exactly. So you're working on the entire project.
Yeah.
Interior, exterior.
Constantly juggling 2 or 3 things. Yeah. It's a lot of fun because I get to touch everything. I get to work on everything. And you're never really sitting there twiddling your thumbs, which is cool.
So what's the company life like behind Rivian? What's the ethos?
So we're all about being, obviously, like, eco-friendly.
Yeah, you're an electric car company.
We're an electric adventure vehicle, so we're all about going out, doing things, using your vehicle for things. Where a lot of people think we're sort of a Tesla competitor.
I could see that misconception.
Just because we're an electric
Exactly,
vehicle, where we we're sort of similar to Patagonia in the
Exactly,
sense
you
that
wanna be in that,
we're
like,
premium and we're functional, much less we're like a
you're an
land like a,
outdoor brand slash almost just like a personality of a vehicle because
exactly everything's premium, everything's functional, everything has a purpose. We're less Hugo Boss in that sense, where like Land Rover and Range Rover would be, they're capable off-road, but they're more like a tailored suit.
exactly. I mean, yeah, from the press release stuff that you guys have been doing, the guy's name is escaping me right now, but the rock climber.
Alex Honnold.
Yes, Alex Honnold. That stuff has been phenomenal from what I have seen.
Yeah,
and
he's one of our brand ambassadors.
okay.
We've teamed up with him and his foundation actually, and all of the batteries from our test mules are going to his foundation. He does it's a renewable energy sort of for third world countries, like a solar project.
Okay, so like power sources for a community.
Exactly.
Like,
So
does that like power up like a water source, or is that just like community?
I don't know exactly what
Okay.
they're doing, but you can find that information on the website for his
I
foundation.
saw his podcast with Joe Rogan,
Yeah.
and that's the first time I heard of him.
Yeah.
And then I saw him with all your stuff, and I was like, wow, this is pretty cool, and on brand with the company to be like an outdoors thought more than a street thought.
Yeah.
Or like,
So that's a big concern for people. It's like, what happens to these batteries when they're no longer in a car, because they have to get replaced eventually.
absolutely, yeah. And
But when they get replaced, they're still plenty powerful enough to be put to use for other things. They're
Yeah.
just not capable
good for a car.
in a vehicle anymore. Exactly. And then from there, they're essentially going to be like, a battery, obviously.
yeah.
So
yeah, just pretty much battery
power
storage
like
for
small
a solar.
homes and
yeah.
sort of things like that in places where there isn't really an infrastructure.
That's really smart, and I mean, as far as recycling a product to its fullest use,
Yeah,
that
exactly.
makes sense.
Yep.
How does that ethos go farther into the car? Is there like kind of interesting materials that you guys are using for the interior or anything like that, or
Yeah, there's inserts in the seats, on the floor,
Okay.
that are super premium, super durable, and you can just like brush them off, wash them out. Like,
Okay.
there's a lot of little
they'll, like actually last a whole lifetime rather than losing a carpet every season or two.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're all really high durability.
Was this
materials.
from the Aspen trip, or where was that? Because didn't you guys go to?
I believe that was
Colorado?
filmed during the Aspen trip.
Okay. What was it? The X Games that you guys were?
Yeah, we had a setup in downtown Aspen during the X Games.
Were you there?
Last winter. I was not
Oh,
there,
okay.
unfortunately.
That must have been a bummer.
Yeah, a little bit,
Yeah.
but it's cool. I was able to make it out to LA for the reveal when we launched.
Oh,
and
that must have been equally
that was
as fun.
super cool. That was probably one of the coolest things
Because
I've
that
ever
was
been
the
a part of.
first press release reveal, correct?
Yeah, we
Okay.
had done like kind of like very little teasers here and
kinda
there
like
that
teasers,
didn't
like,
really show much.
Silhouettes of the car and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then that was cool. That was absolutely wild to see everyone's reaction, because the LA show is turning into a huge show, and we had a line of people at our booth the entire time we were there.
I mean, as far as a vehicle that fits into the American lifestyle, in the like for as like moving towards electric vehicles, I think this hits the mark completely. I mean, there's so many Chevy Tahoes and all of that on the market, and that's
Yep.
just they're there because people need the space for their kids and the lifestyle of like going up snowboarding on the weekends or whatever.
Exactly.
And this completely replaces that that vehicle,
Yeah.
but the same ideology behind it, and not having to
Yeah, and we have so much, especially with the truck, we have so much storage and cool little features and stuff that you don't get in a lot of other vehicles, like our gear tunnel, for example.
I saw that side tunnel.
Yeah, that's
So that's for like it's like a snowboard tunnel on the side of the vehicle.
essentially,
correct?
but you can fit whatever you want.
Yeah, like
when we were
shovels, whatever.
Yeah, for one of our display booths, we had benches made that were the same size as the gear tunnel,
Okay.
and then they had glass inserts in them with like one of them had sports equipment in it, one of them had golf clubs, one of them had like
okay.
so you could show.
I think I saw a few photos
yeah,
of that.
you could
so
show
the
exactly the capacity for those.
It's an awesome animation.
Yeah, they're the team doing all this website.
So it's
work
it's
is-
an all-wheel
is
drive
really good.
vehicle, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
skateboard style.
exactly. So it's all-wheel drive. It's got 4 motors, so one at every corner.
That's fun.
Makes the powerful battery, I believe it's 180 kilowatt battery, will make around 750 horsepower
Wow.
and an insane amount of torque. A towing capacity is 11,000 pounds.
So we're looking at like a Hellcat SUV equivalent, practically.
0 to 60 is, yeah,
In that zone.
It's under 4 seconds.
Wow. And that's a lot of weight to be moving.
Yeah. Yeah.
How much do they weigh roughly? Do you know?
I don't know if
if they've
what the
even,
final
put out
weight
that
weight. Yeah.
Because
The specs are on the website
yeah.
somewhere.
So have you been to the factory yet? Or
I have not been to the factory yet. We have a factory in Normal, Illinois. It's an
Yeah.
old Mitsubishi plant,
Okay.
and we've purchased that a few years ago.
Very
and
sound
have
investment.
we're very actively overhauling that to run our vehicles,
Yeah, I mean,
which is cool.
for starting a vehicle company, you don't want to be in a garage.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
to have the manufacturing facility even before a press release is certainly
Yeah.
pretty awesome and a good move for the company. Because right now, as a potential customer, I'm not waiting for
Yeah.
years to even be
Exactly.
like, okay, I can make an order. It's like
Yep.
did the pre-orders open the day of the press release, or
I believe so.
yeah, because
to the
I
public.
recalled
Yeah.
that. I just didn't want to make that statement.
Yep.
So yeah, to be able to see the car and then put in your pre-order and know that it's actually coming.
Yeah, it's not just vaporware.
Yeah, exactly. It's not one of those weird projects you see at car shows and you're like,
Yeah.
put in money for what?
Yep.
This actually is coming to a
Yeah.
real car. And
Yep.
so explain the difference between the two models, I guess.
So one is very obviously a pickup truck, and the other one is an SUV.
Same kind of chassis underneath. the two.
Same chassis, different wheelbase, obviously. The SUV seats 7. It's a 3-row SUV.
Okay. Wow, that's
pick-
really nice for the family.
Yeah, exactly. Tons of space. The pickup truck's 5-seater, has the gear tunnel, which you don't get in the SUV.
So I assume the SUV has a lot of comprehensive storage space inside, though.
Yeah, I mean it's
enough
a
for-
giant trunk, right?
Exactly.
So you have all of the storage space that you get with an SUV.
Yeah, I mean, and from looking at it, it looks like everything has been well thought of, and
Yep. Yeah, we took a lot of time to make sure everything was, very detailed and honed in, and
yeah,
the interiors are fairly similar. Like the IP is the same in both cars, and and all that stuff.
Well, I mean,
So
that's good for brand cohesive.
exactly. It's like any other company. You're all gonna have the same like form language and
Exactly.
and stuff like that. So
Truck 0 to 60 in 3 seconds.
yeah.
829 foot-pounds of torque, and
up to 750 horsepower.
Yeah.
up to 400 plus miles too.
With the 180 kilowatt or 400 mile range.
Do you know if they're gonna have any anything like superchargers, sort of like what Tesla has?
Yeah, I was about to ask the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know details on us doing our own supercharger network, just because that's not like the part of the company that
Yeah.
I'm involved with.
Right.
Exactly. That's more
but-
of engineering and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
all that stuff. But the amount of like third-party companies that are setting up charging networks across America is growing
Exactly.
by the day. It's
so you
it's
don't
insane.
have to rely on the big Tesla.
Yeah, and I don't even think we'd be able to use those because they have their own proprietary plug-in stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And obviously they're a different company, so
And
I
they
think
have
that
a
would be
little-
like a no-no.
Okay. Yeah. So the runtime's going to be crazy. The horsepower is going to be crazy.
Like off-road capability is pretty insane. It's
Yeah, I heard that you guys were really like focusing on the battery protection,
Yeah.
and making sure that you could actually use the truck how you would normally
Take it out,
use your
bash
truck.
it, and
Yeah, where
So-
you're not worried about, oh, I punctured a battery and this is a problem I don't know how to repair.
So our max ground clearance is 14.1 inches.
That's
which
a
is,
lot.
to put that into perspective, I believe a Raptor is like 14 and a half
Yep.
in there. So that's a huge amount of ground clearance.
Exactly. What's the suspension like? Is it?
It's air ride.
Okay.
So it's adjustable. So like on the highway, it'll lower itself down for better
So
fuel
you
economy and stuff like that. And then in off-road mode, it'll go up.
Nice.
You know.
That's really convenient.
Do you know how much travel it has?
I don't know how much travel is in it.
Yeah.
But like our water fording capabilities are nuts. We can go into 42 inches of water, so that's a little over 3 feet, 3.5 feet.
Yeah. So I mean, you're literally going to be able to do the full adventure.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
fit that. I mean, Patagonia lifestyle.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Exactly.
I can't picture having any competition that could beat that.
Yeah, you can't take a Tesla off-roading.
No, that's
You'll
absolutely true.
shred tires. You can't. There's a lot of stuff where we have.
So, with a setup like that, are you, as a company, kind of theoretically going to go more kind of like Jeep, how they have all the extra stuff for your truck? Or at one point, could someone, if they get a Rivian, hope to see some Rivian parts
For accessories, I don't know what.
I know that's a future plan.
Plan is sort of for that stuff, but like this, you can see we built a module. We call it Camp Kitchen that sticks out of the gear tunnel, so that replaces.
Yeah, and that's someone that like a night
intense.
And then that Patagonia ethos, they're kind of do-it-yourselfers anyways, correct?
Right. Yeah. So that Camp Kitchen is actually super cool. It's got like a 5-gallon water tank in it, a stove that's all powered off the truck's battery.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it's literally a camp kitchen that you just slide out of the side of your truck when you show up at your campground. You don't have to.
I assume that's an option, or is that just?
That's just a concept for now.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Just to show,
that gives us some good glimpse of what is an opportunity.
Yeah.
And what's this hookup right here?
Down at the bottom.
Yeah.
So that's an air takeoff.
Oh wow.
So because it's got an air tank for
Exactly.
the air ride. So if you're out and you want to fill up, anything from an air mattress to tires to
If you deflate your tires for
inflatable
the
kayaks
beach.
and all sorts of stuff.
That's
and
awesome.
then the little guy you see below that silver piece, that comes out and it's a cable lock and it clicks into the other side or back into its own side. So if you have the tonneau cover open and you still want to secure your load, it's got
A lock there.
a built-in locking system. Yeah.
That's probably the coolest little nifty feature I've seen on a truck.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you don't have a nice cover on the back of your truck,
and ours comes with a power tonneau cover.
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
So is it a soft power, or like a soft top powered
No,
one,
it's
or
hard.
is it hard?
It's hard.
Okay.
Yep.
That's very cool.
That's
And
a
the
crispy
steering wheel,
interior.
is that like a wood, or is that,
Yeah, that's wood.
wow,
Yep.
like a real,
Yeah.
very cool. Do you know what
And
kind of wood?
The dash as well.
I don't know
Yeah, fair enough.
what wood we used for that.
Yeah, the
we had a
dash-
couple different options. I don't remember which one we.
That dash is
don't know the
gorgeous.
one.
Yeah. That's a good sized screen in there.
Yeah, it's super clean. The center screen is 14 inches, I believe.
Okay.
So it's pretty good size.
So
Trying to see if we
in
can
reference
see a brand
to
on that.
the design, I'm thinking about the design team. Do you have any other CCS alumni there, or is it kind of built out with you being the only CCS?
No, we've got a couple of CCS people. Our VP of Design, Jeff Hamoud, is a CCS grad.
Okay.
My boss is a CCS grad. I don't know if you know Luke Mack. He's there. He's a CCS guy.
Vaguely, I've heard the name.
And then we've got a couple other people from Cleveland, from CIA,
Okay.
a couple from Academy of Art.
Yeah. So
So
all the
we've got people
top-tier
mixed
people.
in from everywhere,
That's awesome.
which is cool. And we're all super good friends. We all
Yeah.
hang out, and you have to be when you're a team that's that close and you're doing this level
absolutely
of stuff.
being a small brand, you gotta be friendly with each other and pretty much friends, so you can actually understand
exactly.
where everyone's coming from.
Yep.
Do you see like more task sharing because there's less, like in other words, if your departments are pretty close, you kind of like work on things together because there's less people to do specific jobs?
100%. Yeah, we all wear many hats.
Yeah,
which
okay.
is cool.
And I was gonna say, do you like that or?
Yeah, I love it because
Yeah.
I still get even though I'm a modeler, I can still flex my, design muscles a little bit and like
Yeah, you get an opportunity.
yeah, I'll just come up with like a rough sketch and I'll be like, hey, like what if we tried something like this, or I think this would be a neat idea, or I'll just model something up and you actually get, your voice heard.
That's awesome.
Which is cool.
So you guys have the company like manufacturing facility.
Yep.
Where are you guys located for design headquarters?
So our design and engineering headquarters are in Plymouth,
Awesome.
Michigan. And then we have offices in California and
I had no idea that you guys were already in California.
yeah.
So is that just
we don't
like
have any design
logistics
stuff.
and
It's
stuff out there?
Yeah,
or-
it's other departments.
Mhm.
We figured instead of moving the talent to where we are, we would just set up shop where all the different talent pools are, sort of where we're
That makes sense.
trying to pool people, because
kind of like micro cogs. To
exactly.
the
And there's so
larger-
much you can do, with like video conferencing and all that sorts of
Absolutely.
connectivity technology these
Yeah,
days. that
you don't
makes
really
it-
have to lock yourself into building a team into one location.
Yeah.
Everyone can remote work and
Exactly.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
and you even have UK on there.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah.
International.
Yeah.
advanced
Wh-
engineering.
How long has there been UK involved? I mean, like that branch open. Has that been from pretty early on, or is that
No,
a
that's
recent expansion?
fairly recent.
Okay.
I would say probably within the last year.
Okay,
I believe we've had that UK office.
cool.
Yeah.
So
Is there any specific reason for having one in UK versus?
There's a ton of good engineers over there, and we just started.
talent pool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh, makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense, man. But what do you want to do as far as cars and design moving into the future? Are you going to build your own electric car, or are you going to like jump into that? Like, because I know you're an automotive enthusiast. I see your
Yeah,
car events.
I enjoy wrenching on my own stuff as much as the next guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love Rivian. I wouldn't work any other place.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a great team.
I
It's an
more so
awesome
was-
environment.
I was more so thinking about
Like hot rodding a
yeah,
truck.
exactly, like your own passion as an automotive enthusiast.
Electric vehicles will be interesting, to see what you can do with motors and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
because I couldn't picture wanting to like expand past Rivian because you're in such a great place and such a great team.
Yeah.
So I was more so thinking of like you've got a lot of opportunity to learn the know-how of electric vehicles where everyone that's starting to think about getting into electric
that's true. I guess
hot rodding-
into tuning them. I haven't had much time to spend.
Yeah, I mean you're
with,
probably
like the battery team to really get to know like the ins and outs of these things, but it's definitely something that I'm looking forward to and
it's
seeing
a possibility.
what we can do and how you can push electric vehicles. Like I think Formula E is a great series. That stuff's super cool. I'm glad that there's electric race series.
Yeah, I mean, Formula E seems like it's getting bigger and bigger every year.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, with that increasing, the electric car market increasing, I don't see anyone else coming out as a competition. So at this point, you probably have the forefront market capitalized on for trucks and SUVs for electric vehicles. The pre-orders must be out the door.
Yeah, I don't know how many pre-orders we have. They don't tell us those numbers,
exactly,
but yeah, I know it's a ton.
You would know if you guys had no pre-orders.
Yeah.
They would be like, hey, we have a problem.
Yeah.
But because you don't know, probably alludes to things are
Yeah,
doing good.
we're headed in a good direction.
Yeah.
Which is awesome to see.
So what colors are they coming out in? I've seen the green and the silver.
I don't know.
You
We
don't-
haven't selected sort of final,
So
final color.
that's a fun last
palettes.
thing.
Yeah.
Because like once you get in, I assume the plant has some final steps before manufacturing the production run, and picking out paint's probably that one of those last steps.
Kind of. I mean,
Okay.
you're kind of always thinking
about it.
Yeah, and we play around with stuff in VR, so we'll just
Yeah. You're like, oh, this blue's cool. Let me figure out what that color code is. And,
yeah, exactly. Or
Yeah.
I mean, you know how 3D programs work. Like if I'm working on a
Exactly.
model, I'll just
You
shade
can
something
just
up a
change
different
it.
color, and I'll be
Yeah,
like, oh, this is
exactly.
cool. Like what if?
30 seconds later, it's
Yeah.
different.
Yep.
You're like, oh, let's make a carbon fiber body one. Let's see how that looks.
Yeah.
That would be pretty good. Special edition.
Well, I mean, it's fun
If
to
they-
play with materials and 3D modeling.
Mhm.
I mean, you could literally make it look like it was entirely made out of wood if you wanted to in 3D modeling.
Yeah.
Be slightly less efficient. Probably a little heavier.
Oh, 100%. But that's the fun part. So we got sports car performance
Yep.
and horsepower.
Yep.
And I mean, Christian, do you have any questions? Because I'm pretty much sold. I already want one.
Yeah, no,
I'm
Yeah,
highly regretting.
You can scroll down and pre-order one now.
Yeah, what's the
$1,000 pre-order.
Okay, so
and it's fully refundable. So if you change your mind, you get your money back.
yeah, they might see pre-order come in for me.
Yeah.
Because I mean, right now, you mentioned that the wait time's probably a little bit for pre-orders.
Yeah, I would just assume, obviously, because
Like,
people
the
are ordering
lists-
them, so
yeah,
the list gets
exactly.
longer, and we haven't
Yeah.
started
So
building.
I mean, I'm gonna be on the tail end of all the people that got theirs, so I'll be jealous for a while.
Maybe.
but,
Who knows?
yeah. I mean, either way, I mean, this seems like such a fantastic vehicle.
Yep.
Yeah, I was wondering. The only thing I was wondering about is cornering. I mean, I realize that's not the focus, but with a car that's so fast, people might be driving them kind of like a
Like what our
sports car.
skid pad numbers are and stuff like that. Like how many G's can we pull in a corner?
I mean, I don't. Well, I mean, if you can talk about specifics, but I just mean like
I don't know those numbers. I don't know if
Yeah.
we've tested that, or I'm sure someone's done the math on it. But
Yeah. But
But-
I mean, so you guys did more off-road testing than track testing.
I mean, we've done
Track
track testing with our mules and stuff. But
Yeah, well, I mean,
those are
of
just
course.
numbers that we haven't really,
Yeah, I mean, it's
either
for
released
internal
or
use.
find.
and
Yeah, exactly.
Figuring out
Yeah.
the engineering aspects of it.
It's not exactly something our customer is going to ask. It's not like you're cross-shopping this with a Huracan or something, and you go,
Yeah.
"Can I take this? What's my Nürburgring lap time?" That's
Right.
not.
It's
kind of what we're
irrelevant.
at. That's
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, but that is a solid point, though. I mean, from hitting the consumer demographics, I'm a petrol head. I have
Yeah.
a Huracan, but this still excites me. The fact that I can go use it how I would like to use a truck
Yeah.
is something that, I mean, I just got a Gladiator, and oh wow, if I see one of these for sale, I would try to
Yeah.
trade it immediately.
Yeah. So there's tons of cool little things in this too, like the roof rails you see on there.
Yeah.
They're the same rails that are on the pickup bed.
Oh, so it's a kind of
And
like a modular.
they telescope, so you can fit them. And then there's also tie downs inside the bed. So if you needed to like rack mount in your bed,
Okay.
you could just pop them off the side rails, collapse them in, and put them down on the bed, or put them up on the.
That's fun.
Yeah.
That's really cool, but I guess my favorite design detail is actually the headlights.
Oh, the headlights make the
Yeah.
the car.
So I assume that's kind of going to be a style that we
Yeah,
can
that's
kind of
definitely
see
part of
congruent.
our brand identity. Is
Yeah.
that's yep.
So is the bar going across the like daytime running light?
Yeah. So we call them the headlights are stadium lights. So they look kind of
You like,
like
a oval stadium
exactly.
racetrack? Or...
Yep. So the outside of the stadium light and then the center bar and the outer bars will always be on as the daytime running light, as the DRL.
Okay.
And then the center bar, also when the vehicle's charging, will show you your charge indication. It'll light up
Oh, no.
from right to left
That's very
in
cool.
That's
green. And yeah, there's
mean-
images of it. I'm sure you can Google it.
So yeah, I've seen that actually. I just didn't know if that was just a good illustration.
No, that's fully, yeah, they'll light up like that.
Okay. So with that being said, how much in the design process
Like that, yeah, like that one.
is, with it being an electric vehicle, you definitely have to kind of think of the consumer buying a product more so than a vehicle.
Exactly.
So is that something that's going to be present with the end product? So like that's a very cool feature and almost
Yeah,
I don't want to say gimmick because it's not gimmicky.
No, it's
but-
super practical.
Yeah, exactly. But it's a function that kind of comes from something that we would see on our smartphone.
Exactly.
So is there other features that kind of correlate to that, or is that kind of the highlight?
There's a lot of UX UI stuff that's
Very
geared
familiar.
towards connectivity and being able to check in on your car and all that sort of
Okay,
stuff.
so there's a app to your car then, or is
I'm not sure what the end result is. I just
Okay.
know that's the nice thing about having literally a blank sheet of paper from being a startup car company, right? is
Exactly.
we can go, how would you want to do this like from scratch?
Exactly.
What cool features do you want to see? And like that's a photo of our frunk. So under the hood, because
I guess that's an important highlight that
Yeah.
you guys actually also have a frunk.
Yeah,
because
there's-
it's an electric vehicle on a skateboard platform.
There's tons of lockable storage on this thing. The truck and the SUV both have a frunk, and the truck obviously has the gear tunnel. The truck also has the spare tire sits under the bed that folds up, and
Okay.
you could remove the spare tire if you needed even more space, and
Wow.
use that to load stuff up. And then when you
That's
close,
a weird Photoshop. Sorry,
I don't know what that is. That was
not
somebody.
guessing at what your vehicle
Yeah,
would look like.
and
That
they
is
were
not.
miles off.
Yeah, that is very.
That's good
not
or
it.
part of an yeah.
Yeah.
Decent looking.
Or that's
front
not
end.
even us. That's Atlas.
Oh,
Somebody's photoshopping
yeah.
a different company, and we're just tagged on the article. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've seen their products around for a while, but I've never heard them build up much, I guess, publicity around them in the way that Rivian has.
Yeah, I mean, there's tons of startup car companies all over the place. I think China has like 400 something
Yeah.
startup.
Yeah, I mean, there's a
EV
lot
and
of
regular car companies. and
electric vehicles.
It's like
right
with
now.
everything, stuff pops up, and sometimes you hear about it, sometimes you don't. It's probably like daily that this stuff kind of comes out.
Yeah, I mean that's almost like a Raptor like shot of it going through the mud.
Yeah, I was gonna ask what what kind of water can it take? I mean,
43 inches.
43.
wow.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I think it's 43 and a half.
What happens if it goes over?
Oh, you don't want to know. We're not gonna.
Yeah.
We're not gonna dive
Yeah,
into it.
that's just like our max recommended.
Yeah.
Fording depth. I mean,
But
it's
so
like
I mean, the doors are well sealed at that point. Then.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
'Cause-
Do they have like a soft close going on there, or I'm just curious about like how that seal is going on. That's interesting that it can go up that high in water.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff will take. You'd be surprised.
Yeah, I guess I'm new into jeeping,
Yeah,
so I
that's
haven't
true. Yeah,
done that.
When I had my Raptor, I went through tons of, and that's just a regular F-150 door, and it was fine.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
So with it being a skateboard design, what components are really there? It's just the electric motor,
Yes.
standard suspension, and kind of control arms, and
Yeah.
the batteries, correct?
Yep. Yeah, it's just everything in our powertrain is on the skateboard batteries.
And
That's
with
an
electric
old
vehicles, you're
one.
really not looking at much service, correct?
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't have to. I mean, because you're regenerating for a lot of your braking,
Mm-hmm.
so your brake life is fairly well, across the board on electric cars.
Awesome.
Yeah, there's
Have
no
they-
there's no motor components to service. You don't have
don't
to
have
do an
to-
oil change. You don't have to change spark plugs. You don't have
Exactly. So
Yep.
is there going to be some kind of what's the I guess consumer experience going to be considering there isn't a need to have a service location? Is there like are you guys going to put up like a dealership just to have like a
I don't know.
presence?
I don't know
or,
what the details are for our.
like brick and mortar.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good way to put it for our brick and mortar.
Okay, but
Do you have any idea if it has a significantly lower center of gravity because there's no
Oh, it-
motor and trans? I mean, it
it
looks
really
like
should be all the weights down
Right.
low.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
I was gonna
it's
say it
it's
should.
gonna have a pretty low. I don't know where exactly our center of gravity is, but
Yeah, it looks pretty much in the center.
yeah,
at the
yeah.
very bottom.
And I
like
think
right
that's
along running
an
boards.
older rendering of our chassis. The latest one should be on the website.
Okay. And have they
you
put out
scroll
a
through the-
tentative production date?
Fourth quarter of next year, 2020.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So not too much of a wait for everyone.
No, I'm excited to see these things on the road.
Yeah.
It's super cool to
So-
be. Part
So
of.
for someone that's not savvy on business terms, that's technically like Christmas time 2020, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
fall, winter.
Yeah, exactly.
2020.
I mean, hey, not everyone knows what
Yeah,
like
it's true. Fiscal quarters.
yeah,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
everyone operates their lives on that.
Yeah.
Looks like they have a
Yeah.
active social.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
I mean, you guys are doing really well on over 130,000
Yeah, and it's
organic.
crazy to watch it. Yeah, grow organically. We're not pushing stuff like crazy.
Well, there you go. Was it Alex Honnold?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's Alex Honnold and Ben Moon.
Who is Ben Moon? I'm sorry, I'm not
He's
familiar.
a videographer, photographer,
Okay.
adventure guy. He's
In that same
yeah
genre,
in that
that
sphere.
same
Yep.
sphere.
It looks like they have a lot of marketing that's like a premium, like it parallels Subaru a lot, except
A little bit more outdoorsy.
significantly more premium. But yeah, like outdoorsy,
There's-
like all about the passion of being
LL Bean.
Yeah,
Patagonia.
go use your stuff. Go.
Yeah.
right.
Yep.
Have a kayak in the back. Have a nice
Exactly.
rack for it.
We want you to use your car. It's not like I guess like Land Rover. They show. I think the statistic is the third owners are generally the ones that are off-roading, like
exactly.
Range Rovers and stuff like that.
Yeah, they
'Cause
never.
those things are super capable.
Yeah, but the first consumer never ends up using those.
Yeah.
I mean, the most use I've seen for a new Range Rover is being on like Martha's Vineyard or something and going down a dirt road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's the most
They
dirt
don't. They
and
don't
sand
get.
they've seen.
Yeah. They don't get used off-road a lot, and we want people to go out and enjoy.
I mean, this would be the coolest car for an island. For like, I grew up on the island of Martha's
Okay.
Vineyard, frequently there, and to have an electric vehicle on island it's very conscious of the like current situation that the globe is in.
Yeah.
But also it's
Gas isn't easy to find on an island.
no, because there's like 2 gas stations that are practical to get to.
Probably
Yeah.
way more expensive too.
Yeah,
since
Right,
on
because
an
it's got to
island.
get shipped over.
Exactly.
Literally.
And you know, if you have a solar panel at your house or
Yep.
wind energy at your house, which I mean, even some of the houses on that island don't have like electricity and conventional means, so they'll have wind or solar.
Yeah.
So you could just really plug this right into that lifestyle effectively.
We're all in this together, right? So the company when I started was around 250 people. Like I'm employee number 250 something or under that, somewhere around there, and we're over 1,000 now. And I started a year and a half ago.
Wow.
We've been very rapidly expanding, which
So-
is awesome.
Mostly is that engineering and development for production rather
It's-
than design, or
Kind of all over the place. You know,
Okay.
like our design team's growing. Like we've hired some more designers. We've hired a ton more engineers, you know, facilities people. A lot of that too is gearing up and hiring people down at the plant.
Yeah, I mean,
all
just
sorts of, you know,
building out a
across the
plant, I
board.
assume is very complex. I mean, even just down to like from the machinery, even
Yeah.
to like we have to have a janitor. Like it's
Yeah,
a lot
it's-
of logistics, a lot of moving parts, a lot of people.
Yeah, but it's cool to see the company grow. You know,
100%. I mean,
a lot of friendly faces.
So you were talking about you guys get some pretty decent perks for the workers
Yeah.
that are there.
Yeah, I mean,
what's,
you
like,
can
the
see
work life there.
like a little glimpse of the office space. There's probably photos of it somewhere in our gallery of things. Yeah, we get lunch a couple times a week, which is cool. And if you're working late, they bring dinner in.
That's
you know,
cool.
Monday through Thursday, which is cool.
Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of they want to have that full fun.
Yeah, we have snack.
consultancy.
You know, we've got snacks. You know, all the time. We've got a fridge full of LaCroix and soda, which is
Yeah, I mean, you can't be designing on an empty stomach.
no. You got to have some snacks.
You gotta have some snacks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, skateboard across the studio if I need to go talk to somebody. You know.
So I mean, it's pretty relaxed and fun, and
Yeah,
not,
it's
like,
relaxed
stiff
and fun, but
corporate.
like we still have to get our stuff done. It can't be
Right.
too relaxed. But
Yeah, you can't just be, I mean, goofing off and
yeah,
shooting Nerf guns across the building constantly.
no, but that does happen.
That does happen. I mean,
every now and then.
what big warehouse and work studio
Doesn't
it
have a Nerf gun.
doesn't have
Yeah.
a stockpile of Nerf guns?
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
we
but
have
we're
a storage room.
Yeah,
built
we're
for
all
Nerf
there to-
guns.
yeah. I mean, as starting any company, like
Yeah.
things get a little tense now and then, or a little stressful. So you've got to be able to relax and have
Yeah, you gotta have some outlet space for yourself, employees.
Yeah,
everyone
exactly.
involved.
Yeah, and there's tons of like little meeting rooms, and like if you need some quiet space, you can disappear and
Okay.
go work.
And I mean, as far as like events that the company itself kind of has like launched, or I've seen you kind of post about, I think, was like that rock climbing event here in Michigan.
Yeah, so a lot of that, or like this, like that's a team building thing. We just did. A bunch of people just went and did Tough Mudder.
Okay, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, So
I mean, that's like definitely team building.
yeah,
Getting through a tough mudder.
yeah,
Is,
exactly.
no pun intended, but tough.
Yeah. So we'll do stuff like that.
Is this a clay model? Sorry.
Yeah, that's one of our full size clay models.
So for those who are not in the like know of car design, you
Right.
go from sketch, 3D modeling
Yep.
to a full scale clay.
Yep.
And
Usually there's a scale model,
Yeah,
a couple
in
of scale
between it.
models involved in between there. Yep.
Exactly. But like the company isn't just making like stampings of like
Yeah,
panels out of nothing.
exactly. We're not going from pencil to digital to production. We're there's still very much
Yeah, a lot of hands-on approach still, even though we're in a digital
and we
age.
have an absolutely awesome team of clay modelers. Shout out to those guys. They do some super good work.
Yeah, I mean they're artists that
Oh,
happen
100%.
to be
Yeah.
really good at sculpting cars.
Yep.
But foremost, they're artists. I mean, don't most of don't most car sculptors come from more of the like art pottery background or?
Some of them do.
Okay.
But some of those guys are like body shop guys too that got really really good at.
Just sculpting the body.
Yeah, exactly. Or
Makes sense. I mean, if you're good at doing body work on a car, I'm sure you can handle some clay.
yeah, if you can fix Bondo, you can fix clay because clay's a lot more forgiving.
Exactly. It's not like you're waiting forever to add another layer to
Yeah,
it. or
yeah, and some of those
subtract from
guys, like Donnie, this guy with the red hat on. If you
Mhm.
scroll back up, the guy standing on top of the other clay modeler, like that's his kid, So
it. Okay.
they
So it's kind of a little family there.
a little bit, yeah. He comes in and does some contract stuff for us
Okay.
now and then, because he's like retired. But sometimes when we need some extra muscle, we'll call in some of the old guard.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Those guys that have all sorts of tricks up their sleeves to get stuff done. And yeah,
So I know that you kind of missed the first boat on pre-orders.
yeah, I didn't pre-order ahead of time.
Are you going to get the truck or are you going to get the SUV?
I don't know. That's a tough call. I'll probably get the truck.
Okay. Kind of meet the automotive lifestyle a little bit more.
Yeah, and I think there's so many cool little tricks
Mhm.
up the truck sleeve, like
I
the
mean,
gear
that
tunnel and all
pass-through
sort
is
of stuff.
awesome.
Yeah, exactly. So
I mean, as far what did they have a towing rating put out yet?
11,000
11,
pounds.
yeah,
Wow,
11,000.
Yeah.
that's a lot.
Uh-huh.
Let's see.
That's
what
like
the,
diesel territory.
Yeah.
So
let's see.
you could
It's
have
like
a race
what's
car.
like an F-250 Super Duty tow?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not too sure. It's definitely dependent on if you have like a fifth wheel attached or not.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could have the truck and an electric race car all in one.
Yeah.
Trailer it to the racetrack
Mhm.
and smoke a lot of people.
Yeah, you could hurt some feelings. You could hurt some feelings with the truck too.
Oh,
Okay. All right. Well.
Oh, that's okay. That's a little different.
350 has 3,200.
Yeah, but
pounds.
the F-250 Super Duty tows 18.6.
Yeah.
So-
So that really is territory of.
You're starting to kind of
pushing
get
up.
there.
Yep. Yep. I mean, I don't think this would be anything that somebody who's specifically trying to tow all
No,
the time.
so that's
would
also
buy.
not kind of. We've had a lot of, I guess, criticism from people they think that this is sort of a work truck
Right.
when it's not meant to be a workhorse. It's not.
Right. It just also can. So it's like
It
it's
just-
meant to be a play truck, or not necessarily play truck, but like
Yeah, like an
Everything
adventure
up its
truck.
sleeve,
Yeah,
right.
it's supposed to be,
which would make sense.
Go
That would
out.
have a pretty good towing capacity because I mean, if you
You-
might be towing a boat or a camper or
Exactly.
anything. Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, you could tow. I mean, you could tow a big boat.
Yeah.
I mean, if you couldn't tow, I guess it would kind of miss the mark a little bit with the consumer demographic. So the
Yeah.
fact that it's
I mean, you want to be able to pull your boat. You want to be able to pull your jet skis. You want to be able to pull your snowmobiles or.
because it's light use,
Yeah, exactly.
light to mid use towing.
Yeah.
Well, F250s, F350s start to hit almost industrial. I mean, they put.
At this
yeah.
point, they're huge
Yeah.
vehicles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, especially if they sell the same truck with just a flatbed, then it's a utility vehicle. You know,
Oh,
that's-
I mean,
and these aren't designed
they're not. Yeah, you're
to be a workhorse.
Right.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
meant to be a utilitarian, nice
an adventurer's vehicle.
Yeah,
Adventure
exactly.
knives or an adventure Swiss Army knife.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Well looking, very nice.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, and getting the job done really well.
Yeah, that's kind of our whole motto is keep the world adventurous forever.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean,
And I like their dedication to making it look good too.
yeah.
Because sometimes people like to hit function over form, especially if you're trying to hit,
Yeah.
some of those marks with, like, you see other camping trucks or trucks that are meant to do the same type of stuff, and sometimes they don't really look that great. But this is something that you could pull up to, like, a nice dinner in, and it's something you could take out to the middle of nowhere and just rip on it.
Definitely. It's respectable in either category.
It's simple,
right.
It's clean, it's well thought out. It's
It's a little Range Rover-y almost in I think where it sort of fits in as a class of vehicle maybe. I mean,
so
not class of vehicle, but
I would say it fits in that same category visually in a suburban approach. Like, you could take this to the country club, then go off-roading.
Yeah.
Right.
And, like, you could, so, like, in the same day, you go to the country club, and then you drive all the way to the Upper Peninsula and go snowboarding.
Right.
Yeah. Or, like, you could drive from our San Jose office out to Yosemite and go rock climbing.
Yeah, that's
and then
awesome.
Yeah.
Go to dinner in San Francisco kind of thing.
You just
Absolutely.
befriend somebody with a Range Rover and smoke them in all the categories.
Well, yeah,
They don't
you
have 3 seconds.
You have so much horsepower
Yeah.
in the, like, concept of instant torque, too.
Right, exactly.
But sounds like you're going to be at Rivian forever.
Rivian.
I apologize, Rivian.
Okay.
Yeah, I've done that once and tried to correct myself, but Rivian. You're going to be at Rivian forever, and the little less forever thing or more immediate things that change in your life are your cars.
Yeah.
And you just
I'm
rolled up in
giant
a
car guy.
Yeah. I mean, I know Loren not only from school but the car community. We knew each other more so from seeing each other at car events than at school,
which is kind of an interesting
yeah.
dynamic.
Well, I mean, I had the car club that I started, so there was like small events that overlapped with that.
Yeah, exactly.
And, but you rolled up today in an Alpina BMW B7.
Yep.
Not bad, because last time I saw you, you had a Fiesta.
Yes, that is correct.
Quite the upgrade.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit so. Yeah, it was time to get something a little bit nicer, and I got a super good deal on that.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to the guys at Platinum Motor Cars up in Birmingham.
Okay, so found it at a dealership, didn't pick it up from a old guy.
Yes, yeah, I found it at a dealer.
Okay.
Happened to be local, thank God, because those things are hard to come by.
Yeah, it's great when you find.
And
a
I honestly
local
wasn't
deal.
even looking at getting a B7. I was looking at like other big luxury sedans.
Yeah.
And a couple of the guys we work with are good friends with all the guys up at Platinum.
Okay.
And they were like, "Oh, hey, they have a Alpina B7," and I was like, "Really?" And 3 days later, I went and test drove it. And 4 days later, it was mine.
Not bad.
No.
Not bad.
No.
So did you already have the Fiesta sold at that point, or did you?
No, I just traded it in.
Okay.
It was just like a
Whatever. Just give me what I can get for this.
yeah, and they gave me it was a little bit more money than I was looking to spend on a
Okay.
car, and then made the numbers work still, and it was kind of like everything lined up at the right place at the right time, which is always
I mean,
Yeah,
not
it's
bad.
interesting.
Not
Yeah.
bad.
No.
So, but you're already planning another car,
well.
like kind of.
I mean, we all have car ADD, right? It's like
Yeah.
you get something and then you want something else. But like, I said that when I had my truck, and it took me a year and a half to get a, so
yeah,
I'll
you had a
keep this-
Raptor for a while.
Yeah, I'll keep this for a couple of years.
Okay. Rack
Yeah.
up like 20 or 30,000 miles on it.
Yeah,
Not a bad move.
yeah,
I mean, I just got rid of my Raptor. Speaking of Raptors, though,
yeah.
which
Do you miss it at all? How do you like the JT versus the?
the Gladiator's pretty awesome. I definitely needed to put a little bit of work into the Raptor.
Yeah.
The 2013s, they're prone to a few issues, which tally up into quite the cost.
Yeah.
When you start looking at it, you're like, wow, I gotta redo the suspension either with an OEM
Rebuild.
which is not going to last that long,
Yeah.
or go all out and spend like 10 grand on like a Baja truck setup, or not go full stadium truck, but like I was looking
Yeah,
at,
but
like,
that's an easy fix. Like you go down the rabbit hole a little bit, and you're 10 grand into suspension,
pretty easily,
and you've only touched the front end.
yep, yeah,
Yeah.
so
I was starting to go down that
exactly
when I had mine.
when I was looking at the delta of, like, I thought there was going to be a delta of fixing my truck,
Yeah.
or just trading in my truck
Yeah.
and getting a new vehicle.
Right. Like, what's
And
the
there
price
wasn't.
difference?
There wasn't.
Yeah.
There actually was no price difference of fixing up my truck, except for the fact of all my time and labor for me doing it.
Right.
And I didn't, because like the dealership's not like, oh yeah, well let's put on a
No,
crazy,
you've got to find a shop somewhere that'll.
or do it myself.
Yeah.
Which when you have this much,
I guess you have a shop.
yeah, I have the shop, so it's kind of like hard to argue against just
Yeah.
doing it. So yeah, the Gladiator made sense financially, and now I have a new vehicle that I can throw the keys to my fiance and not worry about like something being loose or whatever.
And the interior on the Gladiator is way nicer than it is on a 10 to 14 Raptor.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty Spartan, pretty empty, and like any like where did they change it? Like 14. That's when they kind of changed their interior for
14
Ford.
was the last year of the Gen 1 trucks,
Yeah.
and then the new F-150s came out in 15, and then
so
I think
like
16 or 17 they did the first Raptors.
yeah. So the new one is nice, and I
Yeah.
first looked at getting a new Ford Raptor.
Yeah.
But the price point for the ones that I was seeing locally was crazy, especially when I was like, wait, you want 70 for a new truck?
You think that's ridiculous? Look at the prices on the West Coast.
Probably like 100.
Yeah, when they first launched, they were six-figure trucks.
Wow.
That's
People were just trying to mark them up.
I mean,
nuts. There were
LA,
people
I could see
making like
that.
a good amount of money on the forums just buying East Coast trucks and
just-
shipping them to California
Wow.
for,
why not?
they
Why not?
charge like $5,000 over sticker for them, and then they'd make like a couple $1,000s on the truck and then ship it across. And
Right.
Jeez.
yeah,
I mean, I believe it. I mean, the dealership wanted 72 or something.
yeah,
And then literally the same truck I looked at, I saw on their used lot for 52 like 2 months or 3 months later.
yeah.
So it's just like, yeah, not going to happen. I'm going to try a new vehicle and got the
Yeah.
Jeep.
Yeah,
'Cause,
it's
I
something
mean,
different, it's something new.
I never was sending it with the Raptor anyways. I never
No.
was like, all right, let's launch this thing.
Yeah, I think I hopped mine a couple times.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I never jumped it, but
Like I had some fun and
I
like
jumped it, but I didn't like.
I didn't go full send.
Yeah.
Like, I went through some like dirt roads that like I had driven up and down a few times, and I knew the road,
Yeah.
and I knew no one was
I
there.
I do miss that truck sometimes a heck of a lot, especially in Detroit. Living in
yeah.
Detroit, it's
fun. It's a
The roads around
presence,
here
but I still
are
have my
bad.
work truck. I
Yeah.
still have my diesel.
yeah.
But are you gonna end up building any project cars? Because I know you're kind of into racing.
Yeah. So a buddy of mine is building a Miata right now, an NA Miata
Awesome.
for Champ Car and Lemons. It's kind of gonna run double duty.
Right on.
So it'll probably be a slower Champ car and a quicker Lemons car.
That'll be fun though. I
I
mean,
mean, it's stock motor, but it's got a roll cage in it and stuff. We did the first shakedown with that last Monday,
okay. So kind
like
of
almost a week ago.
team project there, and
Yeah. So I'm just like helping him out, with working on stuff here and there. And
Yeah.
then he asked me if I wanted to drive for Champ Car because it's an endurance series, obviously.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go
put
do
a few
that
hours
and just
in.
like, and just give him some money for wearables and tires and stuff like that. So kind of doing that stuff, and then I still have my old Volkswagen. I still have my Mark II.
Okay.
I don't know if
That's
you
a
remember
rad
that thing.
cool. Yeah. I mean, I really liked that car.
Yeah, I still have it. It's been sitting in the garage for way too long.
I mean,
But-
why?
Pretty sure the rings are shot on it.
Okay. So
It burns oil like a lot of.
we both have
older
Volkswagens
Volkswagens.
just sitting around collecting dust.
Yeah, so. And I don't know when the last time the timing chains were done on that, and I don't know how many miles have been done. I know the motor got rebuilt 2 or 3 years before I bought it,
Yeah.
and then the car had like 30 or 40,000 miles put on it, and then I put maybe 5,000 miles on it. So I don't know, it's got 50,000 miles on the rebuild maybe.
Yeah. It's about time to do another rebuild.
Just to be safe. Yeah, but then that's like the thing with like VR6s, they're a dime a dozen. Do I put $300 into this motor, or just go buy a junkyard motor for $300?
Not bad.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
It's probably more than $300, but
That's true. But
and then it's the rabbit hole of it's a 2.8 now. Do I get an R32 motor?
yeah, you get a R32 motor or
Or-
get the 3.6.
Yeah, I was gonna say, or do I find a Porsche motor
Because I've looked at getting the 3.6 in my R32.
Yeah.
Because I already have the 3.2.
Right.
Which is fun.
Yeah.
But if I just took all my turbo components,
And sold them.
nope, just put them on the 3.6.
Oh yeah, that works.
It worked
Because a big turbo on the 3.2 would be like a decent sized turbo.
on a 3.6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be like an okay. It'd still be fine.
Exactly.
Yeah. I have a half a turbo kit laying around for my VR6 too, so it's just
It's like
it's bad.
It's a rabbit hole, as you keep saying.
I just need time to work on it and money to. Yeah.
I mean, dude, look. I have a 240 sitting in the workshop, just covered in
almost
dust.
see it right
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
And
Project cars are that projects, and they tend to stay that way.
yeah, they stay in that project state forever.
Yep.
I mean, even my nicest build, it still has a few things where I'm like, man, I have not gotten to that yet.
Yep.
But
My daily is a project car.
That can be a slippery slope. That can get sketchy very quickly.
yeah, he was
I'm letting it
Ubering
go,
here for a few times.
Yep.
Yep, that got pricey.
Yep.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Added to the repair cost.
Yeah. I mean, there was some.
But if you cross that with what you would spend on having a second car, just
Just to have,
then it's like it's still cheaper than owning two vehicles, but
Yeah,
for
I mean,
3 or 4, however many.
yeah,
It just
a lot.
It's, when you're a little kid, you're like, I want to own 10 cars, and
No,
then
you
you grow
don't.
up and you own like 3, and you're like, this isn't so much fun.
Yeah. Oh, how many of my cars run? 2.
There you go.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Got more than 2 cars that run.
Is
Yeah.
it Connor's Desert Run?
Yeah.
it's definitely in that category. It's definitely in the
Yeah.
Scotto, like
Yeah.
car habit.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with myself kind of thing.
If you're still listening, drop a comment if you want to see us walk around to all of Connor's cars and see which one actually starts. Which ones don't start.
Which ones run and which ones
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah,
He's like-
that's a rough one.
I threw him under the bus on that one, but
Yeah.
let us know.
Well, the Huracan starts.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
the important
you
one.
got a saving. Yeah, you've got saving grace. Like you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the important one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like how the guy with the Pontiac is like, dude, I never drive this thing because I always love driving my Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Such a rough problem to have.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
I feel terrible. I think his name is Tony. I do know the guy with the LS swapped Pontiac Solstice.
Actually, you took a ride in it earlier today.
Yeah.
We could probably drop that footage in here.
Yeah.
No, I don't know him.
Okay.
And there's a couple of those.
Let me
LS or
airdrop you that
LS,
footage,
LSX.
and you can pull it up right here.
Yeah.
So I went on a whim. I was just like, hey man, next time you're around, I would love to go for a ride in the Solstice. And he's like, dude, I'd never have the car with me. Like I usually just have the other one. Just like hop in right now. And
Okay.
it was interesting because I have the like 500 horsepower LS Miata.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Got like 10-inch wide tires, squared.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. But he rolls up, has like 12.5-inch wide tires, squared, around a 1,000 horsepower.
Yeah. I was talking to a guy once who had an LSX in a Solstice, and it was making 1,000 wheel, so a healthy amount of power.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they turned it down because it wouldn't hook in 6th on the highway. He's like,
Wow.
He's like, now it. Like, he's like, you'd be cruising at 80 and roll into it in 6th, and the back end would start to wiggle.
That's definitely a turn it down.
So I don't know if it was a tire size issue or
Airdrop.
whatever, but he
Except-
turned it down to, I think, like 700 or 800 wheel horsepower, and he's like, oh, it's a rocket ship now.
Oh God. I mean,
can-
when you
I
can't
can-
grip on a car like that, it's
Short
just
wheelbase cars with a lot of power are
fun.
fun. Sure, that's one
Yeah.
way to put it. A
Yeah.
handful is another one. I mean, my 135 is pushing ridiculous. I mean, it's not the fastest car in the world. I know that.
Yeah.
But
It's-
with E85 and the boost cranked up, it makes north of 450 wheel horsepower.
Not bad.
No,
Not bad at all.
I haven't dynoed it in a long time, but yeah.
So
I don't know if we can.
do we not have audio to this?
We may be able to add the audio in, but
Or we just sit here and watch it, and then you put that footage into
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
podcast, and we just
yeah, let's do that.
cover up this snippet of conversation.
Yeah. All right. So that's what it looks like driving around here today. And this is a wild video. We're going to have to put this in the...
How do we not have audio to this?
No, I'm not sure.
Because it's HDMI plugged in, correct?
Oh, no.
Yeah, it is. Let me just...
That's a nice interior.
Yeah, I love this car.
LG TV.
Yeah. All right. That should actually work. All right, let's turn this down because it might be really loud. There we go.
All right, so we're picking up now, watching the footage of the Solstice.
Let's skip
Yeah,
ahead
skip.
to
Okay,
about
right here.
Just wild.
Oh, it's supercharged. That's
Yep.
Yeah.
a healthy supercharger line.
Oh yeah, he's pushing 16 pounds of boost.
That's
And on a bored out, I think it's a 6.8 liter now.
Yeah, it
God.
was 6.2 liter LS3. Now it's a 6.8 liter.
yeah.
Yeah,
Bored out Whipple supercharger.
running 16 pounds of boost.
1,000 horsepower, 800 at the rear wheels, and it like he wide bodied it. And I don't know if he also liked it for the style, but he did it because he needed wider space for like
Yeah.
bigger tires.
To actually put power down.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's.
Here, this one I think is better. Yeah.
Yeah, it's right at this light that we have a nice little pull, and it's. I mean, he grips, but it gets a little sketchy when you're like, wow, we're in a tiny little car with a lot of horsepower and a roll hoop,
Right,
a roll
yeah.
cage,
Yeah.
a roll hoop.
Yeah. You better not come out of your seat at all.
Oh, yeah.
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 It was hard.
Pretty wild.
It's hard to give a good
Oh
justice.
no,
like,
but yeah, that's
like if there was a car pulling
it's
with
not,
us, and
it's not slow.
Yeah.
yeah,
Put it that way.
I mean,
Yeah.
Especially just also
I
having.
mean his license plate reference is slow, which is funny.
Yeah.
There we go. This is a good sound clip from the outside.
Yeah.
That's
It actually worked.
Yeah, it did.
Man.
So yeah, I had an interesting ride at the car show.
yeah.
Have you ever been to?
The detail garage?
Yeah, the
No,
detail
I
garage.
haven't. I've been meaning to make it out that way.
It's definitely worth the trip, man. Great people.
Yeah.
And I've never been like kind of like
Do they just sell equipment, or do they like detail cars as well?
They do classes. I think they'll detail your car if you
Okay.
coordinate it. But
Yeah.
I think what they primarily focus in on is like selling the
Yeah,
chemical
because
guys
there's not
products.
a good. Before that, I don't think there's really been. I mean, some Detroit people might know
Yeah,
better, but like
even
I've
then,
always struggled
I've always
for a decent
thought
place to
about-
find good detailing
Yeah,
stuff.
like I've always thought, like, why isn't there like a cool like car hub shop? Like, I don't need like tuning parts, but like just stuff for my car.
Yeah.
Like I mean, and cleaning products is
Not
the
AutoZone.
yeah. I hate getting cleaning products at AutoZone, and you're like, oh, these microfibers are covered in dust, so
Yeah.
no, thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're great, and not only do they know the products, they're willing to explain the products.
That's
to you.
good.
So like when I have a question and I go in there and I'm like, hey, I got this weird like sticker residue.
Yeah.
Not only are they like, hey, we'll like handle it for you, that we'll like
They're not just like, here's the thing of Goo Gone.
yeah,
It's
they're
like
like,
they
hey,
give you
we'll show
something-
you how to do it. We'll do it in front of you right now.
Yeah.
And then, hey, like, there's a reward system for you buying stuff. So, like, it's like, you know, it's like when you get free stuff, like when you buy
Yeah.
a lot of food at the same place.
Right. Yeah.
They have the same reward system for buying car products. So,
All right.
like,
Definitely gonna have to check them out.
yeah. So, Christian and I went to their Cars and Coffee this morning.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was fun. They had Chad and
Yeah.
I kind of like in this like separate area for our cars.
Okay. That's cool.
And then McLaren, I believe 570 came
The
up.
blue one. I think I
Is
saw that
that
on your
you?
Instagram.
Yeah.
The
That's
blue
you
one.
right there, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
And a white GTR, like it kind of like
Yeah. So I think his name's Jimmy.
I don't know him at
Somebody
all, so-
correct me if I'm wrong. I'm
Yeah.
probably gonna get roasted for this.
I probably should have introduced myself. I didn't even like. I was just like hanging out.
He just bought that GTR off of a buddy of mine, so he has that. He has both of those.
Yeah, his wife, girlfriend, whatever, was driving it.
Yep.
Not a bad combo.
I believe that's his wife. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but seriously, like a McLaren and a GTR, pretty good combo there.
Yep.
As long as you have maybe a Rivian truck in there, you got the perfect setup.
Yeah.
But with that being said, kind of think we should wrap it here.
Yeah.
And if you've made it to this point, we appreciate it. We applaud you. And jump in for the Detail Garage episode coming up after this episode with Loren. So thank you for listening.
Thanks for having me.